We are now past the halfway point of the BodyArmor LYTE Series West, and we begin the 7-race stretch to the championship in Phoenix at the end of October. Here tonight in Minnesota, the Elko Speedway. This is only a 3/8 of a mile speedway here. And we are going to have a lot of fun with this one here tonight as it's LYTE Series night in America once again. 63 laps here tonight. Will we see any changes for the race lead? We didn't see anything 2 weeks ago at Evergreen. Will we see that here tonight? How's it all going to go down for 63 laps in the Minnesota 250 here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West? Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Elko Speedway. We are here the BodyArmor LYTE Series West and their return to racing on the channel. Hey, it was only 2 weeks ago for these guys at Evergreen. We're going to be back again next week at Pikes Peak. That race is going to be a lot of fun. These guys are knocking out a lot of races here in the month of June, and we're excited to see who goes to victory lane here tonight. We got Rashi Mahendra starting on the pole position, but Ryan Durrani, who had the dominating performance at Evergreen, they're the last two winners here in the West Series, starting first and third. Skep Silver, Coliseum winner, starting in second. Risha Vebelis there, starting in fourth. And we got Andrew Miller alongside us once again. This is really the only series you can commentate in, though you are going to be in the booth for the Road America IndyCar race. Is that this week? That's next weekend. This coming weekend. You guys watching this are going to see that this weekend, so I'm sure that was a lot of fun there with those guys. But hey, this is a very short racetrack, and much like Evergreen, like we saw 2 weeks ago, a very difficult place to make a pass, but there's 63 laps here. How do you think this race is going to play out with Mahendra, Durrani, all these guys starting up front here in this Minnesota 250?
I think as is kind of a common trend on a lot of these short tracks, getting to the inside. Those guys that are starting on the inside lane, like Mahendra, like Durrani, I think that they're going to be in a very, very big advantage. If Skep Silver or Vebelis can try to get down to the inside lane quickly, might still be in it with a chance, but that's the thing. They're going to have to do it pretty fast in order to not risk dropping back too much and possibly falling out of contention. So I think that'll be the gameplay. Of course, the 81's going to be in with a big advantage here initially. But of course, Durrani really ran away with it at Evergreen. Will that be the case for the 81 here? Only time will tell. This track seems like it might even be a little bit tighter compared to Evergreen. So that might not be as conducive to pulling away as far. So I don't know, a bit of a wild card in that regard. I'm excited to see how it's all going to play out, though. I think it should be a lot of fun.
And we will probably run in the lap traffic as well in this race, too. So that will definitely play a factor into how it ends up shaking out up top. But here's how they line up in the points. Ryan Durrani still with a significant point lead here in the West Series. Actually, I wouldn't say still. He's actually starting to pull away in the championship. He's got 49 total points, and, of course, only the top 10 finishers receive championship points here in these LYTE Series races. So 12 points is the mark, so he could theoretically lose the points lead here tonight, but probably won't happen based on what we've seen so far this season. Durrani there, of course, 11 points on Johnson, Jameson. Nicholas Cameron is 17 points behind. Henry Brown is tied with Skep Silver and Caleb Rose there for fourth in the standings, 18 points behind, and Kyler Sustry, a two-time winner this season, is 19 points behind. Still very tight in this championship, but we're past the halfway point. 7 races left to go here in the West Series, and it's going to be interesting to see how these last few races shake up, because I think we're going to get a lot of races where we're going to see a lot of passing take place. Places like Pikes Peak, I think the finale of Phoenix is going to be inducive to a competitive race, and we'll see what tonight is going to be like as well here at Elko Speedway with Rashi Mahendra starting on the pole position alongside Skep Silver. You got Ryan Durrani, Marisha Vebelis there in row number 2, Owen Miles and Zayden Davidson in row 3, Max Davis and Keegan Thompson in row 4, Nicholas Cameron, Marcus Glitch in row 5, Caleb Rose and Trey Wright in row 6. You got Johnson, James, and Henry Brown there. James in second in the points, starting all the way back in the 13th position alongside Henry Brown. And then you got the 72 machine of Kyler Sustry to the inside of the 05 of J.R. Ribbleton. And a couple of Pro Series drivers joining us here tonight. Wisconsin's own Logan Williams. He had to come join us here in Minnesota for this one and I guess prove which is the better state. We'll see what he does as this race goes along. And then Matthew Hubert there on the 15 machine starting in the 18th position. Before we get these guys to roll off, because it's going to be a very short pace lap, who do you think is going to get this race victory here tonight, Andrew?
Well, based on the dominating performance that Durrani did have, again, don't know if that will be the case for the pole sitter, but I think it's going to play in Rasha Mahendra's favor. So I'm thinking that 81 will convert this pole position into victory.
Let's see what they can do. They made the Fast Six and had a pretty solid run in Montreal in the Wall Cup Series. And of course, they won 2 races ago at Memphis, looking to move their way up in the standings after that race victory in Memphis. We'll see what they can do with this pole position. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here in the Minnesota 250. And it's a very short racetrack, only 3/8 of a mile, hence why this race is 63 laps long and not 50 laps long, but it'll still go by very quick. And the pace car is already going to go down the pit lane, and here we go. Rasha Mahendra and Skep Silver going to lead us off to the green flag. And it's going to be a fun one here tonight in Minnesota on a Monday night in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. Mahendra off to a great start there. And we got some 3 wide action going on back in here as you got Owen Miles, Max Davis trying to make a move there, and Skep Silver falling back, just like you said, Andrew. You now want to get stuck on that outside lane, and that is the case for Skep Silver. Started outside pole, slipping way back. Same goes for Zayden Davidson in the 51 machine. He's also struggling. Owen Miles with a good start to this race. His teammate, though, of Ryan Durrani's pulled away quite a bit from the 3rd position. And Durrani trying to close in there on Rasha Mahendra for this race lead. Our last 2 winners here in the West Series. They're 1-2 right now here at Elko.
I am going to send a quick shout out to the 44. Who managed to actually kind of power around it was in the middle of that 3 wide. And actually, Caleb Rose right there actually just made the outside lane work in getting by the 11. So impressive stuff there from Caleb Rose. And actually, I guess that goes to show. I mean, maybe the outside isn't as catastrophic as it might be at other tracks. So, boy, even more 3 wide. We'll cheer for their boys, but again, yeah, I'm just very impressed with how some of those guys were able to treat that.
Yeah, it was Keegan Thompson, Marcus Glitch right there. There is a little bit of grip up there, I think, especially off the exit of these corners. And these guys are utilizing now. These guys have been close to 3 wide for quite a bit. And Marcus Glitch going to fall to the back of the field. And Rasha Mahendra, let's see right here. It's gonna be pretty close here to us getting into lap traffic. I will say Durrani is a really quick driver here in this series, and I think he's a lot like Alexander Rowe over in the East Series, just kind of dominating some of these races. Alexander Rowe led every lap in the East Series of Nashville Fairgrounds a few weeks ago. East Series going to return this weekend to Watkins Glen. That'll be a unique race as they join the Pro Series drivers at the Glen this weekend. But this is a difficult place, much like Evergreen, to really get a run on a driver and make that run to the inside, and it's going to take lap traffic for these guys to really have an issue and give way to a position behind them. Durrani's still trying to close in, but kind of stuck about 0.4 of a second behind Mahendra at the moment. And Owen Miles is 3rd, Mauricia Vebelis, and you got the 61 of Max Davis running in the 5th position. Caleb Rose, Skep Silver, Zayden Davidson, Johnson Jameson, and how about Logan Williams has actually moved his way up to the 10th position. So Pro Series driver looking to steal some points here. And doing a good job there. You got 3 Velocitar cars essentially in this race, because that 83 is a Velocitar car in the Pro Series, and you got 54 and the 15, which are Velocitar cars as well here in the LYTE Series West.
Yeah, 83 up in 10th place, and we saw the 15 Matthew Hubert got up to 11th. So actually not again, yeah, some track position be able to be made up there. The 11 trying to take the position back on Caleb Rose here. Oh, we got a little close there, but Skep Silver looking for some points there. And the 81, definitely hoping to win this thing. Rasha Mahendra, if they're going to have really any legit chance of closing in on anyone for a better points position, especially the 54, they're going to have to pretty much win this thing, especially with the 54 running pretty much right on their tail. So maybe hoping for some misfortune for the 54, but hey, Durrani's been absolutely killing it this season so far, and again, no bias. It's awesome to see.
Hey, you're still hanging on in the Wall Cup Series. 2 races left. See if you can get Durrani racing their first ever chase spot in their history in the Wall Cup Series. I know that is an honor you'd be proud to do for them. Be a first chase spot for both of you guys if that ends up happening. And here we go. Gonna get interesting up front for the race lead. Got Keegan Thompson, Marcus Glitch getting around Trey Wright in the back of the field right here. And Rashi Mahendra has caught up to the back of the field, and they're gonna have to be careful because Durrani, very smart driver, looking to find every advantage they can. You know, it feels like it's kind of been, and while this is Broke Boys Garage, Braden Perez, Rashi Mahendra, of course, drives a lot for Evans Ross Racing over in the Wall Cup Series in the hot seat. It kind of almost feels like, you know, this whole season here and then over there in the Wall Cup Series has kind of been the Evans Ross team versus the Grattan Alliance. And while this series has more of a percentage of Grattan cars than any other series on the channel, half the field is GRT. Mahendra did a great thing, though, lapping Trey Wright, and now they've got a gap between themselves and the 54 Ryan Durrani. Mauricia Veblist closing in there on Owen Miles.
Goodness.
Almost taking that 50 machine out, and she may actually get a shot here to the inside. Not quite. So hard to get that run off the corner. That is why it's so difficult to pass here at Elko. But Fabula's doing all she can to get around this 15 machine for the time being, but our top 5 has essentially remained the same this whole way through. Now Durrani stuck behind Trey Wright, and we'll have to see if that 54 can find a way around the 19 machine.
Yeah, Durrani had a moment where he went like crazy high.
No! What happened to her? They ended up going off in the corner, and I think we are still now. The caution is out, and Ryan Durrani has taken the race lead. Now he spun out.
Something's
Is there oil on the track or something? Owen Miles is now inherited the race lead here at Elko Speedway. Oh my goodness.
I think Durrani will get the spot back though.
And Durrani will. So I'm wrong about that. Owen Miles will not be the race leader, but Mahendra, they will fall back to 4th. Wow, that was a
unreal,
unexpected moment right there going into the corner. Our race leader just lost it going in, and we got ourselves our first caution of the night here in the Minnesota 250. And once you know it, it's Ryan Durrani looking for his 3rd win of the season here in the BodyArmor LYTE Series West. Velocity 1-2 right now with Owen Miles in 2nd. Vebalist is 3rd, and Mahendra down the 4th.
And with damage too. I gotta think something like someone blew up and was up there, and that's what prompted the checkup.
Drivers are still on the racetrack. That actually granted Trey Wright his lap back. Very strange right there. We'll go ahead and see what happened. Bring out our first caution of the night here in the Minnesota 250. Then get back to racing here at the Elko Speedway. Well, this is a bit of a bizarre thing. We rarely see single car spins happen anywhere on the channel or in this game, but that's exactly what happened. Just a bit too much going into turn 1 for Rashi Mahendra. There goes Durrani, and they stopped on the racetrack just for a split second while cars were coming towards them, and that was enough to trigger the yellow flag. And then Durrani did the same thing on the cooldown lap, but he had already crossed the line, the race leader, and will restart in the 1st position when we get back to racing here in the Minnesota 200. So let's see how that restart goes. The 54 Ryan Durrani leading it here at Elko. And we're back here at the Elko Speedway in Minnesota. And it's Ryan Durrani out front in the 54 after Rashi Mahendra spun it in the corner from the race lead. Owen Miles, Mauricia Vebalist, then it's Mahendra down in 4th. Max Davis rounds out the top 5, and now it's going to be a very interesting race from here on out. We'll see what this restart is like for Durrani. Good jump for him right there. Mahendra will get right back to the inside of Vebalist and try to get back to this race lead. We'll see what they can do on the 44. It looks like Mahendra will get that spot on Vebalist right there, and look at all this action back here. You got Johnson Jameson making a move on Davidson. Davidson making a move on Rose. Skep Silver made a move there on Max Davis, and Davidson really losing the exit there, and they're 3 wide again. Here comes Johnson Jameson to the inside. Skep Silver to the inside of Vebalist right there. Lots of great racing in the back of the field, and if they're not careful, we're going to have ourselves another wreck here tonight. And they're going to keep it together off the exit. How about Jared Ribbleton trying to move his way into the points to the inside of Zane Davidson right here. Nicholas Cameron's actually got some front-end damage right there. There have been some things that have gone on in the back of the field here tonight. You got Henry Brown to the inside of Matthew Hubert. And already a second lead for Ryan Durrani in the 54 machine. You know, Durrani's a really good race car driver. This is a rating series. Keep that in mind. And he's been able to find himself up front and kind of dominate some of these races. Obviously, we saw that last time at Evergreen, but a good run for him here as we're past halfway in the Minnesota 250.
It's good to see for Durrani. Hopefully he'll be feeling pretty good about possibly winning another one. But yeah, as you said, he's a heck of a driver, and credit to Mahendra, who, despite the damage, doing a great job up there in third and looking pretty sporty. I mean, that is the benefit of a track like this. Damage of that nature really won't affect you that badly, if at all. So 81 still looking pretty sporty, but Durrani
back out again.
He's blown away.
And now Logan Williams went around, and someone else must have gone around in that same spot.
Something's wrong there.
Oh, boy.
Pavement coming up? I don't know.
Well, it's our second caution of the night here in the Minnesota 250. Hey, remember the ARCA race here last year? I will never forget watching the ARCA race here last year. And late race restart at the end of that race, and you had that lightning strike in the background. Such a cool shot. Too bad we can't simulate that here and have some excitement in that regard. We got some excitement on the racetrack, though. Durrani did not want to see that because now he's going to have to fend off another restart with Owen Miles behind him. I don't know who went around. It may have been... Oh, I know Logan Williams went around, but I think he was already back there when that occurred, so we'll have to see. You guys will see that replay right now. So let's get to see what happened with our second caution of the night here in the Minnesota 250, and then get back to racing here at the Elko Speedway. And this one here, Johnson Jameson in the 17. He was running pretty good here. He was in the points, and he also bent it, and then J.R. Rippleton did the same thing. When it happens twice, and it happened thrice, actually, because there goes Logan Williams into the wall. We actually caught that. And Durrani's still out front in the 54 machine, but another restart for him here with Owen Miles, his teammate, right behind him. Let's see how it goes down here at the Elko Speedway. And we're back once again here at Elko Speedway. And we got ourselves, it'll be 19 laps to go once we cross the line here. Ryan Durrani, Owen Miles, Rashia Mahendra, Skep Silver, Mauricia Vebelis, the top five. Of course, Mahendra spun around there in turn one, and we had another driver spin in turn one as well, and it's a trouble spot right now. Very loose going into that corner. These guys have to be careful, especially as the tires wear out. Back underway, Skep Silver trying to make another move right here to the inside of Mahendra. That's his teammate trying to get it done right here. Hey, Skep Silver going to be returning to the Parker Davis Racing team in the Truck Series this season. Excited to see him back in the Truck Series this fall. I know he's going to go for his first win over there, and he's going to take that third spot away right here. Caleb Rose, speaking of the Truck Series, who will be running the Truck Series this year. Hey, where are you going to go, Andrew, for the Truck Series this year? I don't think you've announced it yet.
Where am I going?
Yeah.
Don't know if I'm going anywhere. Let's just say Top Dragster may be coming to be a team owner in the Truck Series.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, we do have those owner signups coming up next Friday night. So not this coming Friday, but the Friday after on the 27th. Am I right about that? Yes. So 2 weeks from the time we're recording this on the 13th, and Friday the 27th, it'll actually probably be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time instead of 7, because we got ourselves a Walwell Cup Series race that night to set the chase line up at Atlanta. Well, Durrani has done an excellent job in this race. Mahendra has slipped back just a little bit down the fourth now. Caleb Rose is in fifth. Henry Brown, how about Matthew Huber moving his way through the field in the 15 machine? He's just here for bragging rights, and to the inside of the 51. We've yet to have a Pro Series driver win a LYTE Series race yet this season. This Caleb Rose all over, trying to get around the 81 of Mahendra. Once we get to this point in the race, though, a little bit harder for these guys to get going. Mauricia Vebelis has slipped outside the points in the 44 machine. She slipped back right there initially on that last restart. Tyler Sustry holding on to the last spot in the points right now, and it's 1.2 seconds for Durrani. He's got to be careful not to send it up into the wall in turn number 1.
Yeah, apologies for my exclamation there. I thought I saw Max Davis do the same thing out of the corner of my eye, but nope, he's all good. Everything's looking good there. But, man, big shout out to Henry Brown in the 22. Started pretty deep in the field, as did Caleb Rose for that matter. And they have both now found themselves in very good positions, running 5th and 6th respectively. So major props to them on a track that, yeah, a little more conducive to passing than Evergreen was, but still, it's not easy. So awesome to see them up there.
I think Johnson Jameson may have done the same thing. That may have been the driver. And oh, we got some damage between both of these guys right here. Definitely have had some things go on here tonight. Ronnie's got to be careful. He's going to close up on these guys here right at the end of this race. So we're at a point now where if we get a caution, we're probably not going to get a restart. It's 6 laps to go that time around for Ryan Durrani. Got the win at Irwindale, got the win at Evergreen, and looking to get the win at Elko. And all 3 of these tracks are difficult tracks to make passes on, and he has excelled at them. He's just got to make sure he gets that 54 machine to the checkered flag. And as we have seen, it's very easy to make that mistake going into turn 1, and he's got to be careful not to wash it up too much going in, especially as these tires continue to wear out here at Elko Speedway. He's got 2 seconds now on his teammate of Owen Miles. He's going to try to make a pass here on Marcus Glitch to put him a lap down. And it looks like he will successfully do so, and he made that pass look very easy on the 10 machine. Unless he washes it up in turn 1, I think this race victory is going to be his.
2 clean laps, that's all he needs. He's got a bit of a gap to the 17. All but 2 seconds. Just hang in there, man, and you'll get another one.
And white flag is in the air here at Elko for Ryan Durrani, looking to get his 3rd win of the season. He got through turn 1. And it's just 2 more corners left for the driver of the number 54 Team Velocitar, Matt Tuck, looking to get another owner's win. Well, he's got it here tonight at Elko Speedway with Ryan Durrani winning the Minnesota 250. Owen Miles, Skep Silver, Rashi Mahendra, Caleb Rose, Henry Brown, Max Davis, Matthew Hubert, Zane Davison, and Nicholas Cameron. That is your top 10.
Someone just stuffed it in the attenuator.
Yes, that's why we didn't have pit stops in this race. Owen Miles was 2nd. It was Durrani getting the race victory here today. What a race that was, and some wild things here on some of these racetracks we've never been to before. But Durrani, all 3 of those races that he won were the first time we had ever had a race at that racetrack, and he's been doing an excellent job of that. He's going to extend his points lead. And Andrew, I got to ask you, is anyone going to catch Ryan Durrani for this championship? Only 6 races left to go.
Well, if we keep going to tracks like this, I would say no, because yeah, that's 2 in a row on fairly similar racetracks. Yeah, he's looking very, very strong, and I wanted to kind of point this out, that when Durrani was in 2nd, when he was chasing down the 81, he was right on Mahendra's tail the entire run. It was only once Durrani took the lead that he was just gone. So that 54 has got the short track speed, and it's paying dividends, pulling away to what will now be more than a race wins point lead at this point. So that's going to be huge. Of course, still plenty of races for things to happen, but oh man, yeah, it's looking pretty darn good. And like you said, he really is able to get it done here behind the wheel. And yeah, hoping that we can see him behind the wheel more often as well. I think that this series is something for him to smile about, hopefully.
And we'll see what that future holds for Ryan, and we're excited to see how the rest of the season goes. And the rest of them are short tracks as well. So Ryan Durrani gonna be up front in a lot of these races, I feel like, over the course of the next couple of months, and these last 6 races we've got in the West Series. But fun race here at Elko Speedway. Thank you all so much for joining us here on a Monday night for this Minnesota 250. And next time out, next Thursday, we're going to be at Pikes Peak for the Colorado 150 38 laps there at Pikes Peak International Raceway. That is a much longer track than this one. Actually, one of the longer oval tracks that these guys are going to be on all season. But that race is also going to be a lot of fun, and we're excited to see how it all goes down there. Thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to Ryan Arani on his race victory here in the Minnesota 250. Here are the point standings for the West Series after 9 races. And on behalf of Andrew Miller, I will see you guys later.